So this is a video where I'm showing you my self-practice at home, completely unedited and in real time, uncut, all that, bloody blah. And it's the first practice that I've been able to have for a while. And, well, full disclosure, I'm actually making this voiceover like 5 days after the practice because things have been very overwhelming for me. And, well, you can see there on the screen one reason for that. This is Edgar, my now 10-week-old puppy. And he's a Cavapoo, and he's named after Edgar Allan Poe. And I have done extensive research, and I can confirm he is the cutest creature in the whole world. There's nothing cuter. Although he's also very overwhelming. If you've ever had a very small puppy, you'll know they don't let you sleep. They don't let you not pay attention to them. And so, yeah, I hope you enjoy if you care to watch me try to deal with doing my yoga practice. And this one is a combination. It's kind of a blend of Mexican handstand drills with yoga stuff. That's how I like to do it. And it's a bit all over the place, I'll be honest, because of this little furry pup here. I mean, this video right here is a perfect representation. Like, if you're still here, thank you. Like, we're more than a minute and a half in, and I still haven't even done anything on my mat. And this is what it is to have a little pupper in your life. But you can see that big smile on my face as well. It's all worth it. So yeah, I don't just have a new baby puppy. I took him home 2 days before I started my 80-hour neurology training, which I deliver every year. It's the third year for me to deliver it on my own, and it takes a lot out of me. It is very physically, mentally, and emotionally demanding because, yeah, I do it. I have help. I have amazing help, but I'm the one that's there doing the presentations, teaching the classes, explaining the drills, explaining the neurology, and yeah, toggling between like 16 different things on my laptop to show the slides and, show videos or whatever it is while I'm explaining and teaching neurology to people all over the world. And I do this for about 6 hours every Saturday and every Sunday for the whole month of October. And the first weekend was particularly rough because, well, yeah, I was 2 days into having a puppy, and I did that first weekend with very little sleep. And I won't lie, I had a couple of little breakdowns, like just feeling emotionally spent, like I have nothing left to give. And then, of course, physically, I'm donezo because I haven't been sleeping. And mentally, my brain just doesn't seem to work because I haven't been sleeping. And so then I'm looking ahead and I'm like, I can't stop though. Like, I have this puppy that won't let me sleep. I've had some help from my boyfriend, but I'm mostly doing it on my own. And I'm looking at like the work that I need to do for this training and everything. And I had several days where I just felt totally overwhelmed and really like unsure of how I was supposed to do it all. But then the thing that really like got me, I think, was then I was frustrated that I was overwhelmed because I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not getting a whole lot of sleep and I'm used to being, I'm child free, I'm self-employed. Like, I'm used to having my own time. I get to do whatever I want, whenever I want. I live alone. I'm not accustomed to having to work every little detail of my day around other people all that much. And I do it from time to time whenever I go to teach a retreat or whatever. It's like, okay, I don't have free time. My energy is just for other people. And I love doing this. But it was just a whole new level with Edgar as well. But yeah, I'm looking at myself like feeling totally drained and overwhelmed and lost for how I'm going to possibly get through this and going like, Adell, pull yourself together. Like, there are people in the world who have real problems, and you're gonna let this adorable, tiny 10-week-old puppy be your undoing? No. You're gonna, take something that you chose to deliver a 80-hour training over the course of 4 weekends to get you down? No. And so I think in a way I almost didn't let myself relax when maybe I should have, and just, I don't know, break down and cry when maybe I should have, because I felt like I should have been stronger. And listen, I still feel that way. I'm still at a loss for why I'm not stronger. Like, why? Yeah, okay, it's a lot. It's very demanding, like I said, physically, mentally, emotionally, to do this training and to have this puppy. But they're things that I chose. And that makes a big difference, right? Like, I put these things in my life intentionally. And there are also things that bring me joy. I love delivering the neurology training every year. I love Edgar. I mean, even when he chews up my furniture and my clothes and treats my hair like a chew toy, I still love him so much. And so I don't get it. I don't get it. And I'm healthy. I'm so lucky to live in a healthy body. I have a stable mind. I'm privileged in so many ways. And so am I literally just a wuss because my life has been quite cushy? And maybe I thought that I was building strength and resilience with all the work that I have done on my physical, mental, and emotional strength over the years, but actually, it was just resilience in a very cushy life. And actually, if I had to deal with what a lot of people have to deal with, I would just die or end up in a mental asylum or something. I suppose that's what it is, because I'm still baffled by it. And so anyway, that's my confession. But I was happy to have a quick little chat with a friend of mine on Instagram DMs, because she was kind of saying the same thing in one of her stories about how she's like, she recognizes that her life is really easy. She's got it good. And so she also was in a similar mindset to me, kind of baffled as to why she was so exhausted. And we both just ended up laughing about it, saying, I guess we're just not good at life. So yeah, and maybe, I don't know, maybe anybody out there listening that's like a mother to like actual babies, not just a fur baby, because I'm not going to pretend that Edgar is anywhere near as much work as an actual human baby. I mean, for one thing, I didn't have to carry him in my body, and I don't have to attach him to my nipple and have him suck from my nipple. Can you tell that I've never been interested in motherhood? But, anyway, what one of my friends was telling me was that in a way, like, even though it is a lot more intense with a human baby, it's all, like, spread out a lot more. Whereas, like, Edgar, being 10 weeks old now, he's, like, the equivalent to a 1.5-year-old baby that's already, like, running around and wanting to climb everything. And I've just been thrust into that straight away. And I went from having like my whole life to myself to having this puppy, and then with the training on top of it. Anyway, whatever. It is what it is. I'm a giant wuss, but I'm happy. And so this practice right here I think, so far it's the only practice that I've had that was truly just a self-practice just for me for the whole month of October. But it was a good one. So whether it's because the morning of this practice that you're watching right here was the morning after the first night that I actually was able to sleep through the night. Now, it was still only like 7 hours, and at this point, I feel like I could probably sleep for about 14 hours if Edgar let me. However, it was the first night that I didn't have to wake up in the middle of the night and let him out. And so I was feeling very strong. But besides the sleep, I have to say, delivering this applied neurology training means that I am teaching all of these drills, doing all of these drills, demonstrating the drills, having my students jump up and do the drills with me. and putting lots of drills into the yoga class that I start each day with. And anyway, lots and lots of brain drills, and they really do work because I was feeling so good in my body, like despite all the poor sleep and everything. My handstands were feeling excellent in this practice, even with Edgar treating my hair like a chew toy. And so, yeah, I was going for my Mexican handstand shape, which is that open shoulder, hips open, spine extended shape in a handstand, which has always scared me. Well, it scared me ever since I hurt my low back trying it back in the very, 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 very early days of me practicing yoga, before I became a yoga teacher or anything, before I learned that I was hypermobile, and just saw some people on Instagram doing Mexican handstand, so I tried it, and of course my biomechanics were all wrong, and my hypermobile body that I didn't realize I had just flopped into my low back, and it really hurt my low back. And so, of course, for years after, if I even thought about doing that shape, it scared me. And so about a year ago, I decided, like, now's the time. I'm gonna master this shape. So that's what I'm working on here. There's several variations that you can do of it that make it a little bit less intense, like keeping one leg in to the chest. And it can feel quite nice. I'm finally getting to the point where it actually feels quite nice. And I've got tons and tons of drills for it as well. So you'll see those kind of dotted in amongst my my little flow that I'm creating here. And if you've watched these videos that I stick up here and talk over before, then you'll know that's kind of my thing. That's how I like to practice. I like to break a skill down and think about what every part of the body needs to do in order to accomplish that skill optimally, right? And I'm not just talking about joints and muscles. I think about the eyes, the vestibular system, the brainstem, the cerebellum, these areas of the brain as well, because that's me. I'm a neuro nerd. But then I take, like, what do my shoulders need to do? What do my eyes need to do? What do my fingers need to do? And break it into little miniature movements, right? And then I like to weave those into a sort of vinyasa type thing. And that's how I practice, and so that's how I teach as well. That's very much my style of, guiding others through movement as well. No, that's not to say that all my classes are like that, but it is how most of them are. And up till now, that's how I've shared, like on Move with Adell, my membership site. And if you go and look at some of the videos that I've uploaded here on YouTube as well, then you'll see that it's a yoga flow. We're on a yoga mat and we're, bringing an intention to it, a theme, pranayama, all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't flow like a lot of vinyasa classes might, because it's a lot of like really unusual movements that don't have words, don't have names. And sorry, as I'm trying to leave this voice message, this audio, Edgar is having one of his moods where he needs to bite everything that he sees, and he really likes the jacket that I'm wearing today. Edgar, no, where's your chew toy? Where's your chew toy, baby? Anyway, oh, do you hear his little bark? Barking is only for outside. Barking is for outside. Hang on. Okay, 3 hours or so have passed now. He's very distracting. And then I had a call. And anyway, now he's calmed down. He's sleeping on my lap. So I'm going to try to finish this, because there was something else that I thought might be interesting to talk about. So, as I said, I have only really gotten on my mat for my personal practice once this month. And yes, a big part of that is because I'm just kind of overwhelmed with my training and with this puppy. However, I've still managed to make it to the gym 3 times a week. And this is something that has just kind of happened in my life over the last really like year and a half since moving back to the UK, where I think it's just how life goes, like we change as we go through life, but also very often our habits shift when we move to a different place, whether it's a different neighborhood or a different country or continent altogether, like it was in my case. Something about our environment and our surroundings. Those things impact us, don't they? And I just find myself, there's something about my living room, which is where I'm practicing here in this video, that it doesn't feel welcoming. Like once I get set up and I make myself get on my mat, it's fine. But I don't know, it just doesn't, I don't know, maybe it's nothing to do with my living room. Maybe it's me or something else, but it just feels like ever since I moved to this house, I find it like I have to really get a lot of willpower together to do a self-practice. And yeah, so maybe I'm just trying to blame it on my living room, but it's just me. And the thing is, well, over the years, yoga obviously has taught me so much. It's taught me body awareness and, how to better understand like my interoception, my exteroception, my proprioception. It's taught me, it's been a creative outlet for me, and it continues to be. I do still find joy, a lot of joy. Like when I actually do get on my mat, I'm always just like, oh, this is amazing. I should do this more often. And just, finding kind of new fun ways to move that also make sense anatomically and feel good in my body and are productive towards my goals or whatever, but also just having that time to get to know my body, right? But that is a skill that I've been able to take to other things. And the same with the mindfulness, the same with the breathing, the same with all of the yoga philosophy, Santosha, tapas, ahimsa, what's the other one that I use a lot? Svadhyaya, I guess. These are all things that you can do in the gym as well, These are things that you can do just practicing handstands. Like it doesn't have to be yoga asana to be yoga, right? And so, I'm finding myself, I guess, once again confused, but for a different reason this time, because I recognize that there's something about going to the gym, and maybe it's many different things. Maybe it's because I actually pay for a membership and, the stingy part of me wants to get my money's worth. Maybe it's because I enjoy the 15-ish minutes walk to the gym through the park. Where I often see people that I know from my neighborhood and I can say hello, good morning. Maybe it's because once I get to the gym, I know that I'm going to see at least one friendly face. It's become like my third space, if you will, right? Third space being like your first space is your home, your second space is your work. So third space is somewhere you can go where you feel a sense of belonging and community that's not home or work. Or maybe it's because I've kind of outgrown the amount of strengthening that a bodyweight only practice can give you, right? And now that I'm saying all of this out loud, I realize I think it is just a combination of all of these things, because I do still love yoga. I do still love going to other yoga teachers' classes. I still love coming up with sequences. I still love doing a self-practice, but I can't bring myself to do it every single day anymore. And it's almost become one of those things that, like, if I just do it like once every 10 days or so, then I enjoy it. I'm like, oh yeah, that was good. But if I try to force myself to do it every day, well, that's exactly it. It's like I'm forcing myself. And it's scary to admit this, even though these videos that I put on YouTube aren't exactly going viral. So I don't know how many people will actually listen to these words that I'm saying, but I'm still going to put this, publicly on the internet. And I'm aware that, tens of thousands or, well, arguably hundreds of thousands of people know my name and my face, and they associate it with yoga. And if I turn around and say like, I don't actually practice like yoga asana in terms of, how people think of it, and I'm actually finding more of that practice of, that does require also discipline, the tapas, the santosha, being happy with where you are, the svadhyaya, the self-study, right? And learning new things, all of that stuff, like, but I'm enjoying it more, and I feel like I'm getting more out of it also just physically, and what kind of bleeds into the rest of my life in feeling physically strong and and connected to a community as well, and just everything through going to the gym. And I mean, I've always kind of run my business, my yoga business, if you will, based on how I feel. Like, I don't look at analytics. I don't pay attention to numbers. Like, even if I tried to, my brain just doesn't work like that. And I've been lucky that up till now I've done okay just running my business how I feel. And so that's why this month on Move with Adell, I did yoga meets gym, and we did on a yoga mat with a couple of 5-kilo dumbbells, things like deadlifts and squats and hip thrusts and bench presses, because that's what gets me going these days. That and handstands forever and always. And it's not that I'm abandoning yoga, right? It's just that yoga has injected its teachings into me in a way that I don't need to do warrior 1, warrior 2, warrior 3 on my mat, and then sun salutation, vinyasa, vinyasa, for me to experience yoga. But I know that people won't see it that way. That if I keep calling myself a yoga teacher, but I'm doing gym workouts and handstands only, that, yeah, the yoga police will come out and say that's not yoga. Because, they're the authority on what yoga is, apparently. And I mean, well, that's another reason that makes it worth possibly just distancing myself slightly from yoga as well, is like, there is a whole appropriation to it, I'm not gonna lie, there's been many times that I've questioned, like, maybe I should just take yoga out, like the word yoga, out of everything that I do, all of my like websites and everything, because I'm a Western white woman, and I don't, it's a tricky one, and I mean, that's a whole topic that I could go very deep into, because I mean, for one thing, there's cultural appropriation, which is not a bad thing, and then there's cultural misappropriation, and a lot of people get that mixed up. When you misappropriate a culture, that is when you are profiting or benefiting from using somebody else's culture as if it's your own. And do I do that? I definitely benefit and profit from it. My business is, touch wood, thank God, thank Krishna, Buddha and Muhammad and all the rest of them. And oh my God, some forgotten female goddesses out there that were probably eradicated from all the books thousands of years ago. Anyway, I digress. My business is profitable, but am I trying to take something that and try to like pretend that it's me? I'm not wearing a Native American headdress and then walking around and being like, yeah, I'm 1/16 Choctaw, so I can wear this. That's cultural misappropriation, right? Like, it's just such a gray zone. But at the same time, I don't want to be that white person that's trying to make an argument about why I'm not actually causing harm to people who have been colonized and subjugated for centuries, and are still kind of paying the price of the things that led to me being privileged in my lifetime, right? Like, even if, okay, I had nothing to do with the colonization of India by the British people back in, the early whenever it was, but I'm benefiting from the privileges that still exist today. And so, yeah, maybe I am better off just saying, thank you so much, yoga, for teaching me all of these things. And I might still move my body around on a piece of rubber as a practice to, use my body as a tool to be mindful and aware and to learn about myself, but not call it yoga. I don't know. This is something that I've kind of grappled with for years, and I always just kind of I'm just kind of a little bit shy about saying namaste and yoga and all of that kind of stuff. And every time I say it, I'm always like wincing, ready for somebody to come along and accuse me of cultural misappropriation and not really have a good argument for why I'm here doing what I'm doing. And anyway, this has completely gone in a completely different direction to what I intended. I was basically just going to say that I don't show up for my self-practice as often as I used to. That's basically it. And am I worse off for it? I don't think so. Is the world worse off for it? I seriously doubt that. So I'm not going to be apologetic about it, and I'm not going to have any shame about it. I do still get on my mat and have an occasional practice. Names can be whatever, we can call it yoga, we can call it mindful movement, whatever. But yeah, we evolve. And so anyway, I'm also considering at this point, my future, 4, 5, 6 years down the road. Do I still want to be doing what I do, for example, on Move with Adell? Or do I want to just be focusing exclusively on teaching neurology and applying it to handstands? Because that's what really lights me up, I'll be honest. I mean, I love teaching yoga, but it doesn't quite give me that buzz that teaching handstands does. And the only reason I got on my mat here was because I was like, ooh, I feel like practicing some handstands. I'll do handstand drills in a yoga flow. And so anyways, I hope that if you're actually still here and you're watching, you've maybe appreciated that I'm doing some pretty good Mexican handstand variations. Probably I can imagine. I'm just hearing the voices right now, like every time I pick apart my handstands because they're not as good as I would like them to be. People say, well, if I could do that, I'd be so proud. Or it looks amazing to me or whatever. And so you probably, if you're like that, then you're probably like, oh yeah, that's amazing. But yeah, I am not often super duper pleased with my handstands. But in this practice I was, and I have to say it goes back to those brain drills. And yeah, I think maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should just be a super duper niche provider of brain-based handstands where we can also do yoga if people are into it, or that kind of thing, like weaving handstand drills into a yoga flow. Because yoga is awesome, right? To not just move, not just stretch or learn skills that you can do with your body, but to do it with an intention, to do it with that mindfulness, to do it with the mindful breathing, to do it without any sense of competition against yourself or others, that ahimsa, the santosha, right? These things, that makes it on a neurological level, that makes it so much more powerful, right? I think that when a lot of movement instructors incorporate what we know about the nervous system for learning optimally, what they end up doing is basically what yoga teachers have been doing for years and how they teach. It's all one and the same. Build from a baseline of safety. So create safety in your nervous system first. You do that with a calm environment that most yoga studios will offer, an intention, a smooth, long breath with mindfulness for what you're doing, and not rushing or trying to win at anything or beat anybody or whatever. All of those things create a sense of safety in the nervous system. And from there, you're literally reducing threat that your brain is perceiving. And you therefore open up more of your brain's energy to do more of what you're trying to make it do. You get better outputs. And so, I lost my train of thought. Right. So what I was saying was that, I don't know, I'm thinking about a future where I just create, like I said, this really niche offering of teaching handstands and doing it from a brain-based perspective. I don't know, maybe there's a future where I just teach other handstand teachers how to bring neurology into how they teach handstands. That would be awesome. Oh my God, now I want to do that. I don't have time though. I don't have time to do that right now. Literally, if I made that happen, it would be because I quit doing Move with Adell and maybe also something else to create more space and more time to make that happen. But hey, watch this space. Maybe that'll be something that I move towards going forward. So anyways, how are you? God, I can't believe we're a half an hour into this. Half an hour? almost half an hour, yeah. And I'm only just asking how you're doing. Sorry. It's all about me. Ugh. I'll be better next time. I will focus on you first. So, having said that, I'm curious. Will you tell me if you're actually still listening at this point? Will you please leave a comment and let me know? Have you listened to this on normal speed, or do you speed it up? I'm a speeder upper. I listen to everything at least 1.5, but usually times 2 speed. I don't understand how people get through the world listening to everything on times 1. Unless, of course, maybe English isn't your first language, and then respect. But, yeah. Anyway, that was just a little bit of curiosity from me. I'm fully expecting not to have a single comment, because why would anybody get this far? If you are actually still listening, then wow, I love you. And also, are you okay? Do you need help? Why? Literally, why are you still here? Maybe I'm on mute. I hope I'm on mute at this point and you're just here for the handstands. Because even Edgar's gone to his bed now. So I might just end my little commentary here, because this is getting a little bit ridiculous now. And I'll just let it play out, because I think I'm almost done. Yeah, I think I just do maybe a couple of brain drills or whatever, and then I just try some full Mexican handstands after this. But you know what I just remembered? At some point, maybe it's already gone, but at some point in this practice, I queefed a lot. It was a lot. And I was like, I guess that's going in the YouTube video. If I do turn this into a YouTube video, that's what I was thinking at the time. But I feel like as long as I've been talking, maybe I got away with it, even though, well, now I've just said. But as you might have picked up on, I've convinced myself at this point that literally nobody will listen to this part of the video. Maybe some people listened at the start, but surely everybody's clicked away by now. I know how YouTube works. There's all these thumbnails for other videos that are way more interesting. People who actually put in effort to try to get people to click. Clearly I'm not one of those people. I try with my orange font. But yeah, I just am quite content with uploading a ridiculously long real-time video where I happen to queef a few times and talk nonsense over the top. But anyway, Mexican handstands, they're not scary for me anymore. I'm not Greta Thunberg, but at least I'm not, I don't know. Imagine somebody in your life that you think is a loser. At least I'm not that person. And now, here's where my brain goes, Adell, only you are an asshole enough of a person to think that other people are losers. Probably some nice, lovely person listening to this is like, I don't think anybody in my life is a loser. Adell's a jerk. And I'm still talking. Okay, I'm for real shutting up now. Thank you, the person that I'm convinced it doesn't exist that's still listening to this. Bye.
No, don't shut down. You gotta stay up there, Edgar. You gotta stay up. Stay up there. Okay. Not into it. Just don't bite my hair. Alright. Get in. Bloody hell, Edgar.
chew toy. No, Edgar. All right, okay, fine. No. All right, okay. Okay, playtime now.